Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing today? Oh, come on, we're here to see David Hasselhoff. How are we all doing today? That's what I want to hear. Yes, we're having a lot of fun here at the Niagara Falls Comic Con. I am your host for this panel, Joe Crawford from The Joe Show. You have seen this man, possibly in Knight Rider. Yes? Knight Rider fans? How about the Young and Restless? And the Young and Restless fans, yes. He also was a judge on America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent as well. This man has done everything. He swam in the waters with SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick, and with Pamela Anderson as well. Yeah, she's not here, sorry, sir. But please put your hands together for the one and the only Mr. David Hasselhoff!
Some people stand in the darkness. How you guys doing? So since my entire day is selfies, I brought my own. Would you guys be in a selfie with me? All right, and then in 10 minutes, go to @David Hasselhoff and you'll see this. Hang on. Hey, Joe.
All right, yeah.
Are you guys ready?
Nice big smiles, everybody.
Selfie stick. Who knew? They actually banned those.
Well, I went to Coachella and they actually banned them at Coachella because people were actually fighting with them. How you guys doing? All right, so are you all from Toronto or are you guys out of state? Huh? Chicago. I went to school in Chicago. Yeah, class of 1970. I'm the only person with a C average that's on the Hall of Fame wall. It was so cool. I went to the Hall of Fame and all these big guys got up and they all had A+, and then C. And I said, well, isn't it funny that I'm closing the show? Show business actually is sometimes more important than economics. Not really, but it is. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. And I just flew in from Abu Dhabi, where I was raising money for a new movie. My last movie I just made is called Killing Hasselhoff. And it is a comedy. It's like celebrity death pool. And basically, we have Charlie Sheen, Lindsay Lohan, Gary Busey, David Hasselhoff, and whoever dies first, these numbnuts from college get money. So one guy, his name is Ken Young, and he decides to kill me, and he hires a hitman who happens to love David Hasselhoff. So he goes, I love David Hasselhoff. And he goes, what are you, gay? He goes, yeah, you got a problem with that? Can I mess with him before I kill him? And it turned out really great, and we're really excited. We've got Ken Young in it, and John Lovitz from Saturday Night Live, Hulk Hogan, my good buddy. Hulk Hogan and I have something in common. He lost more money in his divorce than me. He really did. I thought I lost a lot. Cool guy. If you ever get a chance to see him in concert or, you know, his one-man show besides his wrestling, he's really an incredibly intelligent, cool guy. And believe it or not, I got a buddy of mine that I met years ago at the MTV Awards, driving the Knight Rider car, Justin Bieber. Yeah, it was really funny. He's actually a cool guy. He's 20 years old. I mean, it's so funny. He gets all this press. I said, if they did press on all of us when we were 20, we'd probably be in jail. Anyway, I'm here to say thank you. The theme of Knight Rider is one man can make a difference. And the reason I'm here is you all have made a difference in my life. I mean, my dad passed away this year, and I have his ring. It's from 1949, from marrying my mother. And my dad was so proud of me, he used to carry cards that said Knight Rider Dad. You know, isn't that cool? You know, and then I had 4 sisters, and you know, they all got kind of pissed off at my dad because, you know, his son was a TV star. And I started on The Young and the Restless. I played a character named Snapper Foster. I was a doctor, and then I quit to go to New York. I quit to go to New York because I wanted to be on Broadway. And on the airplane, the head of NBC, at that time, his name was Brandon Tartikoff. Brandon Tartikoff was a super cool guy. He changed the face of television with Hill Street Blues and all the handheld stuff. He saw me, and then I got a little show called Knight Rider. And I called my dad and I said, "Dad, I've got it. It's the most amazing show." He said, "What's it about?" "It's about a talking car." He said, "Have you been drinking?" I said, No. He said, "Start now." And Knight Rider came true, and my character on The Young and the Restless was called Snapper. So then my dad started calling me the Night Snapper. It was so cool. But the reason I mention my dad is because he went all over the world with me. The way my music career started was I was out of a job. Knight Rider was canceled. I mean, go figure. Knight Rider was canceled. Now, 30 years later, there's 3 cars here. There was a car, and 2 days ago, yesterday, I was in Dubai, and I got a call, message on my, in your hotel, you get messages now, message. And there's a guy from Dubai who had a Knight Rider car, wanted me to sign it. They're all over the world. But, I got Young and Restless, and then Knight Rider, and then after Knight Rider was canceled, my dad and I found out I had a hit record in Austria. I said, "That's so cool. Where is Austria?" So we looked on the map and saw that it was the size of Providence, Rhode Island. It was so small. But we went over there, and my dad and I bought 2 Knight Rider cars. They're still there. Well, one was stolen in Italy, but one is still there. And we did a concert based on a terrible album I did called Night Rocker. I am the Night Rocker. I'm gonna rock you all night long. How corny is that? But it was fun. It worked. And we opened in a tent. There it is. Check this out. Wow. This guy has everything on me, man. So this is Night Rocker. Today, I am the Night Rocker. Yeah. And this is my first ex-wife. Why do they always want to be in the pictures? Anyway, so I did the song. We went over there. My dad did all the merchandising. And we opened up in a tent, and 3,000 people showed up. We're supposed to show up. We drew 10,000. My dad comes in. "I got good news and bad news." "Dad, what's the good news?" "We're sold out." I said, "Great. What's the bad news?" "I have no idea where to get more merchandising in Austria. And I'll be back." He takes off. He takes off and he goes to the next little city, and he's got a little guy with merchandising. And that story I tell is because, we are responsible for our behavior in life. We're responsible whether we make it or not. It's really up to us. So one man can make a difference. You've made a difference in my life, and maybe I can make a difference in yours by bringing you positive television. Knight Rider was a really positive show. It's so dry here today. Prost! Knight Rider was about saving lives. Kit was programmed not to take lives. How cool was that? I learned that the best part about television is you have an opportunity to look in that camera and to communicate with other people. Millions of people. I just came from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And I was walking around the mall, and I was stopped by 34 different countries. Not 34 different people, 34 different countries. I kept counting. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? 34. And you have an opportunity to affect people in a positive way. And that's what I tried to do with Knight Rider. The car was like my horse, because growing up when I was a little kid, there weren't any talking. Well, they had my mother the car, but it was all Hi-O Silver away, the Lone Ranger, and Roy Rogers, and the singing cowboy. So it was all about the horse. So I kind of patterned the show around a guy and his horse. And the voice of the car was William Daniels. You know William Daniels, right? Yeah, he was on St. Elsewhere, and Mr. Sweeney, Boy Meets World. And he's still around. Funny story is I never did a scene with him. I never did one scene with Kit. I met him at the Christmas party. he's a little guy. He's sitting at the table with a bottle of champagne. He goes, "Hello, I play Michael. I play Kit." And I said, "Well, hello, I play Michael. We have a hit show." And we would put his voice in later, but the best part about working on the show was keeping it positive and making it Mike for right, like Camelot. And then along came Baywatch. And I called my manager and said, "I really don't want to wear a bathing suit. I don't want to run down the beach in slow motion. I don't want to do this. I have a hit song called Looking for Freedom." And I said, "But it looks like it's going to be a massive hit. Don't turn it down." And we lasted 11 years. We were canceled the first year on Baywatch from NBC. They canceled the show. And we found out that we could actually buy it. We bought the show for $1, but we had all the financing came from Europe because there's no sun in Europe. And they wanted to see good-looking girls. Maybe they were still following David Hasselhoff. And my relationship with my son, Hobie, is one of the focus reports came back and said, that's one of the main reasons we watched the show, which was kind of cool. And it lasted 11 years. So you're responsible for your life. I've done 100,000 people at the Nova Rock Festival, which is like the big Coachella rock. It was a heavy metal concert. I followed Metallica, and just recently in Austria. And then on New Year's Eve, I sang "Looking for Freedom" in 1989, wearing a cheesy jacket with a bunch of lights. I found the jacket, pulled it out, did 1 million people again. This New Year's Eve in Berlin. It was the 25th anniversary of the fall of the wall. I actually went behind the wall before the wall came down because it was cool. It was really kind of eerie and scary, and those are the Night Rider days, and I felt like I could do anything, and I did. Only because I could. So you can make a difference in your life, and you can either sit home and watch TV or go make TV. It's really hard for me to kind of sit around and watch television today because most of it's reality, and the reality is not real. It's like, give everybody a couple drinks, put them in a hot tub and say, "Okay, now you be angry and you cheat on her and you do this," and then off you go, and everybody buys it as entertainment. It's not entertainment to me. Knight Rider was entertainment. Baywatch was not the smartest show in the world, but it was entertaining. It had something in it for the entire family. I think the key to a show, a successful show, is how many members of the family can watch it together. I grew up watching Dick Van Dyke. Remember Dick Van Dyke? Oh, what a great show, And I got to meet him and said, every night at 6 o'clock we had a little TV. I think it was still black and white. We had a color TV, but we had a little black and white one sitting on our kitchen table. 6 o'clock, we'd watch Dick Van Dyke, and have dinner. It wasn't even about dinner, it was about the Dick Van Dyke show. And I think that's what happened with Knight Rider. We had a huge amount of the whole family could watch Knight Rider. There was something in it for everybody. And to this day, honest to God, all over the world, I get 2 questions. Did you sleep with Pam Anderson? I said, no, but I'm a liar. And two, where's the car? And most men come up to me now and say, "You were a part of my childhood." And honest to God, my life is so surreal. I just got back from Abu Dhabi. I went over there to raise money for this new movie. There was a movie called Our Man Flint years ago with James Coburn. So now I'm going to be doing Our Man Hoff, because I can last an hour. And I'm going to go out and seduce all the evil spies to death. Why am I doing this movie? Because I can. It sounds like a lot of fun. And I went over to Abu Dhabi to raise money, and the sheiks are all there. They got so much money over there. The track for the Formula One race in Abu Dhabi cost $1 billion. $1 billion for a track. It's insane. So they all sit around and they have a thing called a majlis. A majlis is a gathering. And they all come in, they're ambassadors and Fortune 500, very wealthy people, invited to meet Sheikh Nayan Al Nayan, who is the Minister of Culture. And so I walk in, and I say hello, and sit down. And as I'm sitting down, I went like, I saw all the other sheiks looking around, they're all looking at me, and I went, "Hey kid, pick me up." And then, "Whoa!" And I said, "Hey sheik, is it okay if I take a couple pictures with some of your friends?" "Sure." Whole place got up. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, you have access to television, you can change the world. It's the same reason that we all sit down during the World Cup and we're not fighting. We all sit down and we watch the World Cup together. You know, it's amazing. And America actually almost got to the final round this year, which is a big deal in football, or we call it soccer. But I mean, television, music, and sport. It's the one thing where there is no color, there's no race, there's no religion. It's just brings the world together. And it's a great honor to be able to, 30 years later, still talk about Knight Rider. People say, "Aren't you tired of that?" Why? Why would I be tired of that? I just sold my car, but I was driving around to a guy in Turkey for charity. It was $150,000, and you know, it was great. It's a great honor and an amazing experience to be in this business. And like I said, I flew 13 and a half hours to come here, and part of it is just connecting with everyone to see if people still recognize me, because it's 30 years ago. Anyway, questions and answers. The theme of the show for me is one man can make a difference. If you make a difference in your own life, you can make a difference in somebody else's. And the most important thing I can tell you is to tell the truth. My kids tell me the truth. When I mess up, they tell me the truth. "Dad, you're messing up. I need a dad." And that's powerful stuff. It's really important that you tell your children the truth. I told my children, do not get into show business unless you can do one thing: how well you deal with rejection. Because you're not going to make it 99.9% of the time. But if you get that 1/10% and you can actually make it, then it's your responsibility to do something with that. I said a long time ago, and I didn't make this up, somebody else made it up, it was Senator Kemp said this: "Luck is being prepared for opportunity when it presents itself." So that means be ready. Like this guy here. He's ready. Stand up for a second. Look what I have to live with. Yeah! Come on over here, let's take a picture. Yeah. I know why he did that. He said, "I'm going to save that $66. Is there any way to get up here? Look at that. All right, here we go. Let's look cool. All right, who's taking it?
While the pictures are being taken, if you have any questions you want to ask David Hasselhoff, there's 2 microphones that are set up on each side. If you can state your name and where you're from, and David will answer your question.
All right, let's go.
Hi, I'm Todd from Buffalo, New York. I've been a fan of yours since season 1 of Knight Rider.
Thank you.
Met you twice before, 1984 and 2 years ago. I just wanted to say to you, about 6 months ago, I watched your performance in Jekyll and Hyde, and I just want to say I think it's your best acting performance I've ever seen.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that show. Do you really think that I would ever let you go? Yeah.
My question is, would you ever do something on Broadway again?
I would love to do Jekyll and Hyde again on Broadway because, I mean, we only did about 60 shows and the show was canceled. We went through so many changes that show. I do a one-man show. I did the producers in Las Vegas. I played Roger Debris. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. And then I also did Billy Flynn, you know, in Chicago, you know, and in the West End in London. Right now, I am written and writing and producing and starring in a musical called Last Night, A DJ Saved My Life, which is music of the 80s and 90s. And that goes on tour starting in the UK in Blackpool, which is northern UK. It goes on tour October 28th. And we're on tour for about 4 or 5 months. And we highlight the music of the 80s. If you go online right right now. I have a video out. It's got 13,650,000 hits called True Survivor. And I'm so excited about it because it started with a young boy making this movie called Kung Fury. And he didn't have enough. Yeah, you know, I'm telling you, it's just taken off. It's got the movie's out now. You can go to iTunes. It's only a 30-minute version. It's a short film, but he just made a monster deal for a mega picture. And in the short, I play the Hoff 2000 or the Hoff 9000, and my line is, "I'm a car." And I said, "Didn't anyone ever tell you not to hassle the Hoff?" And the car's called the Hoff. Anyway, this kid is exactly what I'm talking about today. He's sitting in his little village in Sweden on his computer and gets his friends to play all the different parts, puts up a green screen, puts it out to the world, raises $14,000 the first week on Kickstarter, $200,000 the second week, and ended up with $625,000 and a mega movie career because he put it out there. He made a difference. He called me up. My assistant's name is Nick. He pulls out the cell phone and says, "Hey, you know, you're always talking about giving back and opportunity, and I get involved with whatever I can, whether it's money or not. You know, I come all the way to Toronto to say hello to you guys. It's not about the money. Sometimes it's about the connection." This kid has a telephone, and my nephew shows it to me. I looked at 6 seconds of it, and I said, "I'm in." Next thing I know, I'm in the studio with one of the best writers in all of Sweden, and he says, "Here's the song," and it's called True Survivor, and we nailed it, and because I was working with a pro, and so, yes, I would love to go back to Broadway. I probably will be back on Broadway with my own show, but right now, True Survivor is such a big hit, we decided to go back in the studio and make an album. So we're going to make an album of some cover songs from the 80s and 90s, and then more songs like True Survivor.
Looking forward to that.
Thank you. Check it out online, True Survivor. It's really cool.
Thanks for your question. Over here, please name where you're from and question.
Yeah, my name's Tim. I'm from just down the road in Kingston. My question was, when you got together with the old crew to make the TV movie Knight Rider 2000, which was a great movie, by the way, was that always intended to be just a reunion film, or was there talk about getting the show back together again at that time?
Another true Hollywood story, man. I brought the show back. Brandon Tartikoff was still the head of NBC. He was at a mall shopping, and I said, "Hey man, it's time for Knight Rider to come back." He said, "Yeah." So then I got Baywatch, so they decided they couldn't do it without me, so they decided to write the girl. There was a girl in it, and they wrote the Knight Rider 2000. It was really a girl took over for Michael Knight, and the audience didn't respond to her, and they came back to me and said, "Let's do more." I said, "Great," and they never did. They never did, and I went off to do Baywatch, but it was a reunion movie to be made as a series. Remember the old days we had movie of the weeks, you know, Columbo was on every Saturday and Sunday, there was a movie of the week. I thought, what if I did 4 Knight Rider movies a year? How cool is that? Well, the first one went through the roof in the ratings, and they couldn't make a deal for the second one. I don't know why. Right now, the Knight Rider movie is in the hands of the Weinstein Company, who have won Academy Awards, and also I work with them on probably the world's worst movie, Piranha 3DD. But I'm about to top that now. I like making terrible movies, because they're fun. Piranha 3DD is so bad, it's so much fun. You have to be a little bit off when you're watching.
A little bit off.
Yeah, a little bit off, yeah. You'll get off, and then now I'm making one that's even worse than that, called Sharknado. And Sharknado is going to rock. Where do you see Hoff in space? Actually, an astronaut. And I'm to Hoffinity and beyond. The last shot of me is, "Goodbye, son." And I pull the plug and I float away. I said, "That's a perfect way to die." Sharknado. Yeah. So, what was your question?
It was just about Knight Rider 2000.
Oh, yeah. It's, you know what, man, I'd love to bring Knight Rider back as Knight Rider. What they're going to do is they're going to bring it back, like 22 Jump Street, make it funny. It'll sell a lot of tickets because of the title Knight Rider. All of you guys are going to go walk in and go, "Knight Rider!" and they're going to come out going, that was not Knight Rider, you know, because it's not the same. I'm trying now to buy the rights back now that I have sheiks and friends of mine in Abu Dhabi. Knight Rider, you bring back Knight Rider. You give me millions, okay. I'm serious. That's exactly the conversation I had with them, you know. And they said, you know, you bring a car down here? I said, yes. Can I have a car? I said, I trade you 1 camel for the car. I said, no, you trade me 5 camels. But the camel's are worth $6 billion. I said, take the car. So, yeah, we're hoping to bring it back. I'm going back to Los Angeles in a couple of weeks. I'm here today. I go to the UK. I'm doing a series called Hoff the Record, which is like Curb Your Enthusiasm about David Hasselhoff's fed up with his wife, moves to the UK, has 5 ex-wives, turns on the light in his hotel room, and hello, Dad! And there's a German son. My name is Dieter. Dieter what? Dieter Hasselhoff. Remember the night the Berlin Wall came down? So that's a comedy. It's going to go all over the world. And like I said, I'm doing Our Man Hoff. But if I could bring something back and make Knight Rider the way that it should be made, because when it was on TV at NBC, that wasn't Knight Rider. It was horrible. And I brought that to NBC. So that's how well you deal with rejection. We love Knight Rider, but you're not going to be in it. You know, so the good news is you got nobody supported it, and it's still out there. Thank you for the question. I love the Night 2000.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Over here on this side, please. Name where you're from.
Hi, David, Julian here. You remember me?
Julian, yes.
Yeah, I'm from Niagara Falls.
Yeah, you know what? Look at your outfit, man. What do you do for Halloween? Like, just take it off?
Actually, believe it or not, this was a Halloween costume from a few years ago. It was a huge hit. Everybody loved it.
I love the hair.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of a mix of Knight Rider hair and the Baywatch outfit. So.
Do you have chest hair?
No, I don't actually.
Oh. Well, we always say if you don't have chest hair, it's because you got really scared and ran under your arms.
Oh, that's right. Thanks. Hey, I got a question for you. We have a beautiful concert theater here at the Avalon Casino. Any tour dates coming up, or are you playing around the area?
You know, I just found out that Robert Dottie, is here, and he does his own show. And when I heard that, I thought, why not? It's beautiful here, man. You know, I've done concerts in all over the world, but mainly over there. You know,
Right.
I'd love to come back here and put something together. I'm going to be busy until like February, but then maybe I'll plan on coming on tour. My one-man show is really fun because it does a lot of stuff from Broadway,
Right.
but also does a lot of the music that people know. So it's fun.
Okay, great. Another question. That episode of Baywatch where the alligator bit your arm, how did you not lose it?
With the alligator?
Yeah, you were.
Oh my God! If you watch that show, we're like, we're all laughing our asses off because it was a fake alligator.
I know.
We had a real alligator on the show, but it was like we undid his mouth and tried to eat us.
Oh, I know.
And so we said, get rid of that thing, bring in the rubber one. And I was going, oh my God, this show will never last. That wasn't the worst one. The worst one was when we had a defibrillator and we shocked a freaking electric eel.
Oh.
Now, we're in water. Don't you think that we're gonna be electrocuted? Stop! Me and Hobie. And if you watch us, we're going, we're laughing our asses off. We laughed so hard on Baywatch because we never thought it'd be successful. We just would go into the beach and look at chicks. It was great. And my kids were little. They never knew what Baywatch was. They thought Dad went to the beach every day. And all the women would wear red. It was just fun. It was so much fun. And then it became the most watched TV show in history. One man can make a difference, so you can make a difference.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming here. I'm a huge fan, and thanks for all you've done.
Happy Halloween.
Thanks for your question. We have time for a few more. Let's go over here, please. Name, from, and question.
Hey David, my name's James. I'm from Stony Creek down the highway a bit. The first thing I gotta say is I wish I hadn't tried to recreate a lot of the scenes from Knight Rider with my talking kid, or I would still be here with us. My question is kind of a comical thing. Do you ever sit in your car today and just get a small chuckle to yourself thinking of how many features actually exist now, other than the AI?
There's a sat-nav with the kit voice from William Daniels. I did my own GPS. It's just so funny because it's Michael Sheffy. Is it Michael Sheffy? Michael Sheffy was the one who created the car. Michael goes out to these Night Rider conventions. And I have a gentleman here from Toronto who has one of the best Night Rider cars, and we just sold it for charity. And he invented it's called Night Rider Heroes. Go to nightriderheroes.com. And he kind of took the whole theme of Night Rider, and we have like box jackets, and you can all become a member of the Night Rider Club, which is our club. So that is the cool part of it, because most of the money goes to charity, and you get an authentic Night Rider jacket, la la la. But, you know, I do this thing called the Gumball Rally every year, and this year I didn't do it because I busted my back at Pismo, jumping a car, and I went down and hit too hard, so I cracked a little vertebra. Nothing bad, but it's just, you don't want to sit in the car for more than 10 minutes. We had the Night Rider car in that. I would love to actually bring Night Rider back and make it really cool, you know, because there's so much technology today, and there's so many movies with so many ridiculous special effects. But Night Rider, the cool thing about Night Rider was all the stuff that we did in that car has come true.
Yeah,
it's so bizarre. It's like, you know, I'd love Kit to come in and I go, Michael, are all the cars talking now? And I say, yeah. And he get, and have him say, why are they all women? Turn left, you idiot, you've missed it. Turn around, you know. So we're in Our Man Hoff, we're actually killing Hasselhoff. We do some pretty funny stuff and with the Night Rider, but it's amazing how much has come true that he just, in his mind, imagined it. I also have a saying, see it, believe it, live it, because when I was 7 years old, or 8 years old, I wanted to be an actor. And the first big gift I got was a go-kart. I was jumping the car. It's like, how prophetic is that? It's like, how weird is that? You know? And I grew up, jumped cars. I'm still jumping cars. At 62, I broke my back like an idiot. I won't grow up. I refuse to, you know? And I think that's what Night Rider is about. Thank you for your question.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much.
It's been really surreal, actually.
Yeah, it's close. Try it from up here.
Santa, this is our last question because David's gonna have.
This guy's been bugging. What's your question, buddy? Which of the Baywatch families, you're asking me which ones I slept with? All of them. I was the executive producer. There were no auditions. It was just my trailer. Walk in, she walks out, whoa, she got the booker. Okay. That's why there was like 20 women on the show at the end. None of them could act. Who cares? No, it was actually like a really, to be honest, it was a lot different than that. Pamela Anderson had her kids on the set, and we had like police tape around with all the paparazzi. Everybody got along, and to be honest, I'm still close to everybody. When somebody gets in trouble, I help them. When I get in trouble, they help me. We all come to each other's defense because it was a fun show, and it was our show. It wasn't a network show. We owned it, and we could do whatever we want. It was our responsibility. We never, you know, if you watch the show, yeah, we had women in tight bathing suits. That's what they wear when you're a lifeguard, you know. But it wasn't about, you know, it wasn't, it had heart, humor, and action. Not too many clothes, but a lot of sun. But thank you. Anyone else?
We got one over here, and this has to be the last one, though, because we have Ryan Hirsch coming in after you, David.
Oh,
and
no.
you're going to be signing autographs and taking pictures out there at the panel, too, so they can all come and see you.
Yeah, I'll be here until 3 o'clock, and then we're off to the UK.
So, all right. So, your name, where you're from, and your question, darling.
I'm Natalie. I'm from Cambridge, Ontario.
Hello.
Hi. Out of all the shows you've done in your lengthy career, what was your most favorite and why?
I think it was Nick Fury. I was the first Nick Fury, and before Marvel became this big franchise, they were trying to get anyone to watch on television, and I got to work with Stan Lee. Stan Lee is the coolest guy. And when I did Nick Fury, I tried to create it really like the comic book character. And my favorite line from Nick Fury, actually my favorite line of all time, is Nick Fury is a tough guy, he had a cigar. And he goes, guys like you tend to cling to the bowl no matter how many times you flush. I use that on so many of my agents and so many of my managers, you know, because he was just a tough guy. And I love that Nick Fury. But more than anything, it was really, when I got Knight Rider, it was like unbelievable. I mean, it was just like, I'm going to work, and they said, here's the car. We're going to put a camera over here, a camera over here. And you see that? It's about a half a mile down the road. Just drive as fast as you can. We've held traffic. And I said, shit, okay. Action, woo! And I just take off, and oh man, it was incredible. It was an incredible experience, but also it was a lot of fun because we didn't have a lot of CGI then. We had to figure out how to make a jump. We would take little matchbox cars and map them out. You know, one day we saw a glass truck go by. Glass truck, yeah! Well, next thing we know is kids going through the glass, you know. We had a lot of fun. Thanks.
Well,
Anybody else?
Hello,
Go ahead.
my name is Sam Nikolajczyk, and I am one of Mayor's biggest fans.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Where are you from?
I'm from West Hampton, New York.
Cool. What's your question, buddy?
What's your favorite Niagara episode?
Wow. I wanted to say Whitebird, the one that I got married in, but that was a really good show. But it had to be when I played both characters because it was so funny. You know, Garth, I played the evil twin, and the reason I love that show so much is I came home and my dad saw the show, and after it was over, he goes, "You know, Garth is a much better actor than you are." That's my dad. Thank you very much, guys.
David Hess